Hey, it's your birthday. It's your what the it's sorry y'all, Google popped up for no reason. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. I'm gonna party like it's my birthday. Heard. Y'all, I'm 22 years old and yes, I'm going to be getting this episode up late, but I'm doing it so it doesn't really fucking matter. But I look so amazing. I gotta make sure my tatas look amazing, of course. Like, what else? I don't want to flash anybody though. That's okay. It's fine. Anyways, I'm 22, yes. And honestly, should I get my cat ears and my heart-shaped sunglasses out? And no, I'm not. But I have them. I have the fucking cat ears that were in the 22 music video, and I got them like over 10 years ago when they were on the Taylor Swift website. But like as a retired Swiftie, I feel like it is my honor, it is my duty to celebrate this. And honestly, today I've been hit with birthday melancholy. And like I had all of these expectations to like do a big thing for my birthday because it's my 22nd birthday and today's my birthday, and I'm getting sushi later with my mom and like a family friend, but like, and I made myself a cake. I made myself a chocolate strawberry cake, but honestly, I don't really have plans. And like for me when it comes to my birthday, like I don't have just one birthday, babe. My birthday lasts for the entire month. But honestly, I feel like with all of these Mercury retrogrades and like all these planetary things happening, and then just like a lot of emotional purging has been coming up for me. It's just been like, I've been kind of just like chilling, like but if you know, like that birthday melancholy where it's just kind of like you feel like you should be doing more, you feel like you should be celebrating big and like all of these things, and you feel like you're kind of just like letting this birthday pass because you're not like celebrating it to the fullest. And like, but I'm also like, I don't need to celebrate my birthday to the fullest to celebrate me and to honor me and to just like literally just celebrate myself. Like I don't have to wait till my birthday to celebrate myself. And like part of me, I like just want to fucking cry. But honestly, I'm super excited that it's my birthday though. Like I plan on doing something later this week too for like in honor for my birthday, but I don't know if I said this. I made a strawberry chocolate cake and I honestly was planning to like cut it in on video, but I'm just going to take it to the restaurant that we're going to and eat it there. But yeah, I actually have some topics that I wrote down in my notes to talk about for today's episode other than it being my fucking birthday. Honestly, it's so crazy to think about how like the song 22 came out over 10 years ago, and like over 10 years ago I was like not 22, I was like 9 or some shit when I don't remember, like in 2012 I forgot how old I was, but I was in like the 4th grade, maybe 3rd grade. I was kind of young, low key, but it's like so crazy how like now I'm that age that marks such a specific time and era, not in my life but other people's lives. And like I was alive when that album came out, because Red is my favorite Taylor Swift album. But it's just like crazy how like time works. Like, oh my God, like I'm literally older and I'm fucking 22. I need to take a picture. Hold on. I need hold on. I'll do this after. Actually, no, because the lighting won't be like this later, probably. I Let me not say anything on camera that I'm not gonna be happy about. Anyways, okay, let me get to the topic ideas. Um I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about. Like, I mean, I guess I'll talk about a little bit of what I've been experiencing these past weeks with like, I guess the planetary shit. Because Mercury went out of retrograde Monday, which was the 11th. And I feel like it's not as heavy, but also I feel like allowing myself to feel everything that has been coming up because ciao, ciao. I guess I'll like spill my tea, not the fucking thing glitching, babe. Anyways, so, and the fact I'm in my fucking too. And like, I feel like being in my luteal phase, like, I'm not blaming my luteal phase. Like, the luteal phase is not the same as the ovulation. So, like, my energy definitely is just not there. I'm giving, like, I don't want to be bothered. I feel irritated as fuck. Like, don't talk to me. I want to cuss everybody out. I want to punch everybody in the face. That is how I'm feeling. And I'm trying to not let, like, other people, the validation or lack of validation from other people, like, dictate and determine my mood. And I'm, like, dealing with that. But what was I talking about before? Y'all, I'm, like, not fully here right now. Like, when I tell you, like, I'm just kind of over it, I'm literally over it. But anyways, so I went, like, clubbing, like, 2 weeks ago, as one does, as a girly pop does, because I was like, it's August, it's my birthday month. This is the beginning of August, and that's when I was in my ovulation phase too. So you already know I was, like, in that energy, in that vibe. Like, if you know, you know. And I, like, met this guy and I really didn't think much of it, but then I was ghosted, and I won't give, like, details because, like, it's really nobody's business like that. But that being ghosted really triggered and brought up so much, like, abandonment wounds, wounds around my self-worth and my value, and um like, father wounds, mother wounds, like, all of these things have been coming up, and it's just like a lot of pain that I've been feeling and experiencing, and it's just been really heavy. And a part of me is like, fuck. Like I don't want to let this ruin my birthday, but it really has nothing to do. It's, like, so much bigger than being ghosted. But I guess I'll share some of the things that I've learned from this experience, other than the fact that most of the time when we are triggered by a current circumstance, that those initial feelings that they trigger, especially if it's in relation to other people, are valid. But a lot of the time, especially when it comes to, like, abandonment wounds that are being triggered and brought up with from another person, it is always a redirection back home to yourself. You are always being redirected to come home to yourself. And I feel like for a lot of the times in the past when I've been ghosted, when things just, this idea that I had held on to, the potential that I held on to, doesn't really play out, or just things don't play out the way that I want them to. I chase and I abandon myself, and I really start to just experience a lot of self doubt and just questioning my worth and my value and not feeling good enough. And this time that definitely came up, but I know that it's been a redirection back to myself, especially because I met this person, only knew him for less than 24 hours, and I don't want to share too much. Oh my god, y'all. But like consciously knowing these things and reminding myself of these things and reminding myself he's not that special. Of these people that are not that special, and, like, the way that I project my own fantasy, my own love, and my own just soul onto other people, and just, like, really remembering who I am, and, like, that I don't know these people, and these things that the story that I'm telling myself, the pedestal that I'm placing other people on, it's like that's all me. I'm filling in the blank of what I don't know and projecting all of this awesomeness onto this other person when I don't really fucking know this person, and I don't really want somebody in my life who is a fucking ghost. You know what I mean? Like, but but I think one of those things is being redirected back to yourself. Everything is a redirection back to yourself, is a redirection to tune in with the parts of you that are being illuminated, that are ready to be faced. And the funny thing is when I communicate out loud to my spirit team, my angels, my ancestors, the universe, that I am ready to release and to process any lingering emotions, suppressed emotions, fears, and beliefs that are ready to be released, and I verbalize that and I express it out loud, that is always being delivered. And I think in combination with that, and also Mercury retrograde, just, like, things happen the way that they're supposed to. They happen because, like, just fucking alignment. Like, I don't know. It's just alignment. It's just the alignment of what is meant to happen. And it definitely triggered a lot of things for me to face. And I've been doing EFT tapping and a lot of nervous system regulation because when, especially when stuff like that, when I get ghosted or I just literally get ghosted and I feel like, hold on, let me backtrack. When I get ghosted, I tend to ruminate. I tend to put the attention and my focus on the other person, wondering what I did, and just kind of like coming up with all of these answers to all of these questions that I have and just putting my focus on them basically. And it makes me feel really shitty. And being ghosted is really shitty. And it's really painful. And I notice how like I honestly I don't want to talk too much about it, but it is a very painful thing and it sucks a lot. It sucks really bad. But I don't want to talk too much about that because I'm literally like my eyes are starting to tear up. And because the thing is like being ghosted is one thing, but it's all of the pain that that triggers. Because it's pain that really has nothing to do with the person that ghosted me or even being ghosted. It triggers this feeling of unworthiness and feeling unwanted that and a lot of these feelings and these beliefs are so deeply rooted and like peeling back the layers and actually allowing myself to feel that pain that I've been avoiding for so long. It's just very overwhelming and it's a lot. And it's not that I'm ashamed to talk about it. I just like, bitch, it's my birthday. Like, I, there's always a time and a place. My feelings are my feelings are valid. I just don't want that to be like the only sole topic. Like, at least if anything, like, or sometimes even when these things happen, I don't always want to focus on on the like the lesson of everything. Like, can we talk about that? Like, I feel like in the spiritual community or like in this community in general, like when we are healing, when we are going through things, like we want to jump so fast to like come to the conclusion of what the lesson is. And I noticed myself gravitating towards that and like, what's the lesson in this? And like, yes, there are lessons for me to learn in this, but for if anything, it's this happened for me to feel my emotions, if anything. And I feel like jumping so fast to trying to find the lesson in everything is just like, it's exhausting, but it's also like, damn, can't I just allow myself to feel my emotions without trying to extract something from it, without trying to gain something from it? Like, I just want to allow myself to be and allow myself to feel without feeling like I'm obligated or expected to extract a lesson from it that I have to share with people. Like the lesson will come when it's meant to, and I will be able to extract wisdom from it. And like, and I always do. And I feel like if anything, me saying that or me admitting this is just me displaying how I have this own self imprisoned like expectation on myself to constantly show up and sound and look a certain way to be perceived a certain way. But like honestly, like when I tell you I feel like this mercury retrograde has definitely has done a lot of great for me in terms of me coming back to home to myself, me loving and choosing and valuing myself and detaching my worth and my value from other people. And I feel like EFT tapping and nervous system regulation and knowing that I have the tools to support myself in the ways that I need to, especially emotionally, has definitely helped me shift my mindset and perspective. But like, there's really no rush for me to feel and to process how I feel. And like, no, I don't feel better. I don't. Like, and I still think about it, but I know the truth. And it's like, I think about all the times in the past when like people entered my life that I really liked, even though I didn't really know them, and how just differently I'm reacting and tending to it now. And I'm like really proud of that. But it still hurts. It still is very sore and sensitive. And I just have to keep reminding myself that it's so much deeper than this person and being ghosted. It really is, if anything, not about him, or like, it really isn't. And like, people who come into your life and trigger the fuck out of you are meant to be catalysts in your life for you to come back home to yourself. Like, genuinely. Like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And like, I'm not trying to force myself to be grateful, but in reality, like, thank you to all the people that redirected me back home to myself. And I think, and I've been realizing that I'm allowed to know my worth. I'm allowed to know my value. I'm safe to know those things. I'm safe to choose. I don't have to wait to be chosen. And these are things that I constantly have to remind myself. Like, I realize how in this process of becoming, it's not just like, oh, I do one EFT session, or I do one somatic exercise, or I do one thing of regulating my nervous system, and like all of a sudden I'm a brand new fucking person. Like, I'm not saying that that can't happen. I'm just saying, like, it takes time to feel safe in your body. It takes time to cultivate new beliefs. And I am literally in the process of doing exactly that. And so really there is no rush. But oh, this I'm going to be honest with you guys, what with these episodes of my podcast, listen, I'm a little all over the place. I jump from topic to topic. That's Listen, if that's not your thing, that's okay. This is how it works for me, okay? But I got some free shit from Ulta and Sephora because they do birthday gifts for birthday girls and boys and them and days. Obvi. But I got the Rare Earth Deep Pore Cleansing Mask from Ulta. And it's so small, but I mean, with a mask, it's like, really, a little doesn't go a long way, but like, you only really need a thin layer. So I'm excited to use this. I'll probably use this tonight. But thank you, Ulta. And then I got this from Sephora. Sephora. Oh, and also look at my makeup. It's so cute. Hold on. Like, isn't that such a vibe? And I got the Laneige or whatever. Like, when it comes to this stuff, y'all, I don't really go to Sephora and Ulta like that as much as I used to. Um, but when it comes to my free gifts, oh, I will be cashing in that check. Yes, ma'am. So it came with this cream skin Serapeptide toner and moisturizer, which is so fun. That's so fun. Okay. And then, oh my god, this is so fucking small. What is even the point of making this if it's going to be this small? Like, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is just, like, most of this is plastic. Y'all, America and capitalism is pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie to you. No, because every time I see fucking, like, commercials and ads on TV, on my phone, on social media, I'm just, like, so annoyed because, like, the jig is up. Like, the jig is up. Like, why, like, who is falling for this anymore? But, but this is the Laneige lip sleeping mask, and I've tried this before. I like the way it smells and the way it feels. Um, and then this is also a Water Bank Blue Hyaluronic Cream Moisturizer, which is super cool. Um, there's like none in here. Y'all, the new episode of The Summer I Fucking Turned Pretty came out today, and can we talk about what, like, why are they getting married? I think I mentioned that in last week's episode, but like, I just, I can't with this stress. I can't. I don't even know why I brought it up. But yeah. Um, oh, I actually want to talk more about like fucking capitalism in America. And I want to talk about, I mean, I made a video about this, about how American politics is a scam. And I made this on my TikTok account. And this is obviously not like a new conversation or like anything new. But I feel like as somebody who believes that if we want to change on a systemic level, if we want to change on a on a society level, that requires internal transformation, because when we are born into the family systems and the family dynamics and we're all indoctrinated from with these beliefs are passed down, especially when beliefs are like generational beliefs and that shit is in your DNA, in your lineage. And on top of that, we have societal beliefs, societal expectations, um, all of these things that are coming out us that are altering our natural state of being, and where we lose touch of who we are authentically. Transformation really is. Hold on! Um, damn, I lost my train of thought. It's okay. It's okay. Um, Spirit guides, angels, can you please help me remember what I was about to say? Can you please put me back on my train of thought? Y'all, damn. It was getting good too. I was getting into it. It was something about generational beliefs, societal beliefs, altering our perception of ourselves and disconnecting from ourselves. And so transformation work is basically shedding and getting rid, not even getting rid, but just shedding, or even just shedding light on the parts of ourselves that we've had to become, parts of ourselves that we've had to be suppress in order to survive in the families and the society that we live in. And so when you start to come back home to yourself and peel back those layers and you start to shed light into your internal world, you start to connect with your internal world and you tap back into the truth and the authenticity of who you are, and you're basically inherently going against the status quo, because you are calling into question everything that you have ever been taught to believe. You have been told, everything that you have been told is normal, what is expected of you, what life is supposed to look like, what the American dream is, and what is like normal. And for me, I say I'm not a traditional person in a lot of ways. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people kind of question me on that, or are constantly questioning like what I'm going to do with my life type of thing. And that's the thing though. It's like when people transform and they initiate themselves into transforming, and they start to create or harness a sense of safety within, and to foster and to support stable and secure foundations internally, that obviously manifests outwardly. Because I feel like where we're at in the world is a result of a lot of people who are obviously disconnected from themselves, disconnected from their emotions, their mind, their body, and their spirit. A lot of people who operate from societal beliefs, like we all have collective beliefs, okay? We all, like a lot of the beliefs that we uphold uphold capitalism. A lot of the things that we're indoctrinated with from a young age, especially from society, from school, whatever, all of these beliefs in a lot of ways uphold capitalism. Like people operating in lack mindset, the type of society that we live in capitalism and white supremacy, all of these things, these systems breed societies of people who are disconnected and operate in lower frequencies and lower vibrations. And when you start to raise your vibration, you start to reconnect with yourself, and you start to the veil starts to collapse. Like you start to see things, and I feel like people. I feel like when people, more and more people start to transform that, and they start to also divest from a lot of things, whether it's divesting attention, money, other resources, other ways that we trade value, um, that's when things really start to collapse, because the reason why these things have been upheld for so long is because we believe in them. We have belief systems, and we operate from lack, and we think, oh, this is just how it is. But like, yeah, this is how it is now, but like, there's always an opportunity for change. It just is a matter of if people are willing enough to do the hard work, which is doing shadow work, which is reconnecting with themselves and their truth, which is taking the action steps necessary to really make those things like cement in who they are. Because when you have enough people believing that there isn't enough, or that this is just how life is, that you have to do this, you have to work this type of job, or you have to live this type of life to be successful or to survive. And while that might be true for them, but that's not like the universal truth. And I always like to think about how, like, yes, we do live under laws and government, but like, that doesn't, like, that's not the end all be all of authority. And even like the universe, like, I don't look at the universe as like an authority figure. Well, I kind of do, but like from a wounded place, but like, I'm aware of that, okay? But like, the universe doesn't matter what race, what gender you are, how much money you have. The universe operates and responds based on your internal world, your belief system. Um, what like your emotional state is, what your nervous system is, right? And but within the physical reality where we have laws, and where based on like if you do something that's like illegal according to the laws, like they react to that and you're gonna have consequences. We don't live in a justice system, so obviously, like that's how it's supposed to work, but the shit's rigged, anyways. But so like, but these systems, these man-made systems that we have, respond to your race. They respond to your gender. They put you on a hierarchy based on these physical attributes, your worth and your value, right? And so when we detach our worth and our value from these labels, from these things, which is easier said than done. Like, it's all a process to do that, because we have all been taught in a lot of ways that either like our physical bodies, especially as women, like our value and our worth is tied up in if we're chosen by men and if we're desirable and if in our bodies. And I know for men, it's like, don't cry. And, you have to be successful and you have to have all this money. And like, we're all taught, depending on where you fall in that your worth and your identity, your worth and your value is more or less based on where you fall under this hierarchy, where you fall under this illusion of superiority. And like, when you really see that that's not true, that these are all illusions, that you don't have to play by these rules, that you can change your belief system, that there's something more and bigger out there for you, that's really when you start to shatter all of these illusions, and that's when you really start to take out the smaller pieces from the bigger system. And it's not like a one person job. Like, this is like a global thing that can happen, and I feel like it's happening, and it's just happening in its own way, in its own process. And I also feel like in this process a lot of people just stop at like the government type of thing. They stop at the at um the lies that have been told from the government. And I think it's great to obviously see the fuckery and the the injustice and the cruelty of these people who are ruling the world. But I also feel like we give these leaders too much credit. We give them too much credit and too much power to be responsible for change, when in reality, the reason our society is the way that it is because we continue to support and uphold belief systems that uphold these societies. Like, if we all stopped following and believing in beauty standards, and we all start accepting ourselves for who we are, like, what power do beauty standards have? But when we continue to uphold these systems and these beliefs like beauty standards, and thinking that this one look of beauty is just the ultimate beauty, but like beauty is obviously like objective, and like everybody's beautiful in their own way. And when you divest from believing in these things and thinking that this is just like law, you can't they can't really fight that. Like, they use violence to try to get you to be complicit, but like you can't unsee the truth. You know what I mean? Like, and it sounds simple in theory, but it really isn't, because a lot of people are very comfortable in the lives that they live. A lot of people are very comfortable in the manufactured world that we live in. And I mean, that's fair enough, right? It's fair enough. Like, a lot of people are fucking burnt out, exhausted, and I genuinely believe that burnout is a symptom or a byproduct of being disconnected from your body and not knowing your body's cues on when it's communicating with you to slow down and to rest and to come back home to yourself. And don't get me wrong, like, I don't say any of this place from judgment, or I'm better, or that I have this mastered, because I don't. And I'm also realizing that I don't have to have things mastered to talk about it. This is just like my perspective. This is the wisdom that I have. This is something that I feel very passionate about, and I love talking about it, because it's like, if you really think about it, it's a very hopeful perspective, because it really reminds us that we have the power to make the change that we want to see. We just have to take responsibility and admit to ourselves that we play a role in how society is. We can blame everybody else, but like, we have to be the change that we want to see, and we have to trust that when we show up authentically, that is going to cause a butterfly effect, and we have no control over how people respond to authenticity. And like, I say this, and this is great advice, but I also struggle with applying this and embodying this. But it's also like my awareness and me remembering and constantly reminding myself and doing what I'm doing and constantly showing up, it is paying off. Like, it is truly paying off. And it's truly beautiful. And because like, there are times when I truly lose hope in humanity, but I'm also like, there is so much potential. But I'm also somebody who does like, who holds on to the potential of things, and sometimes needs to see things for what they are. And I'm able to do that. I think I'm getting better at that. Luckily so, but also I feel like sharing this message and sharing that like, it really is up to us, is so important, regardless of who hears it, who takes the advice, who does the work, who doesn't. Like, that shit doesn't fucking matter. As long as I'm doing my part in what I have control over, like showing up, it's all gonna work out for me. And honestly, y'all, I'm marinating. I'm marinating, bitch. I love a good marinate. Marinate means a barbecue sauce. Yeah. I don't know why I keep saying I'm just trying to fill up silence. Y'all. No, because that, like, these conversations are so fucking juicy. And the thing is, one thing about doing podcast episodes that one thing about podcasts that has made me want to gravitate towards actually doing podcast episodes is it's literally you're just sitting down in front of a camera and just yapping about fucking anything. Like, it doesn't have to be organized. I know people who have been doing it longer who might be more professional and who have more equipment, whatever. Like, it might be more organized and stuff like that. But like, I talk to myself a lot. I talk to myself about these types of topics of conversations. Like, talking to myself helps me process. It helps me remember better. It just helps me just verbalize. Like, and I feel like having a camera in front of me and just letting the ball roll, regardless how it comes out, and not editing it and just fucking uploading it and just like letting all of the imperfections and the stuttering and the moments of silence just be on full display. And like, even with my other videos that I've uploaded before, like, they are similar, like podcast style in terms of length and just like sitting in front of a camera and just talking to my heart's content. But I don't know, I feel like setting like a weekly schedule for myself, even if I'm late on days like this, like, you know what, it's okay, I have an excuse, it's my birthday, like, I don't care. But but like, I say a lot of good things, especially when I talk to myself. I say a lot of things that I'm like, damn, I was recording when I was saying that. And so I feel like, and because sometimes when I do have a camera in front of me, I'm like, okay, what was I saying when I was talking to myself this one time? And then I'm trying to like remember everything that I'm saying. And then I, like, when I start talking about it, it feels like, okay, what am I really talking about? But like, sometimes I just have to let myself actually get into what I'm talking about, and it'll start flowing. It will start flowing. But I feel like when I first start talking about it, I feel so nervous on like saying the wrong thing, or like not making my point like super clear. But like, I'm tired of this being perfect shit. And one thing about this Mercury retrograde in Leo, because bitch, Leo season, hello, Leo stellium in the first house, hello. One thing about this full moon in Leo, it has, and this is something that always comes up for me, but it has really ignited this passion within me to choose myself, to start putting myself first, and to start standing firmer on my boundaries and standards. This is definitely one thing that this Leo full moon, this Leo season is just really bringing up and emphasizing this passion and this deep desire within me to just be more myself, to choose myself, to prioritize myself more, to be more authentic, and not even for the sake of just like looking authentic, or because for me, like, I have ideas where I want to post really cunty pictures on my Instagram, and it's like I'm more so, it's like from this place of wanting to do it to be perceived as a certain type of person, but also there is this desire to just be more authentic, to be more expressive. And I'm somebody who loves to express myself in the makeup that I do, or the clothes that I wear, and just how I show up in the world, in my creativity, in my words, um, in my sensuality. And I've suppressed a lot of that and held that back out of fear of not being liked, of being annoying, of being too much, of scaring people away. And I realize how, like, I performed so much, and I perform it even with the person that ghosted me. Like, I was catching it, and like in my mind, like, I was so present because I was realizing that I wasn't being authentic. I wasn't, vetting people. I wasn't talking about, you know, my values and these things. And I noticed how off the bat with people, I'm not fully like myself out of fear of like pushing people away. And also, like, even with the first opportunity of somebody choosing me coming into my life, like holding on to that, because I feel like, well, this is rare, so I need to hold on to it. And there's a lot of just beliefs and shit and stories that I've been telling myself and that I've been just like kind of living as my truth and letting run my life and how I view myself that has been coming up to the surface. It's honestly really having me reevaluate how I show up in the world. And like this Mercury retrograde has been highlighting my first house, and it's also been opposing Pluto, which is an Aquarius, which is in my seventh house too, of relationships and like partnerships, which honestly makes a lot of fucking sense. It like, because first house is like yourself, it's your self expression, it's your inner world. And then obviously, like I said, the seventh house is partnership, so it has to do with other, it has to do with two, double. And so it's like, and then also like, and that also includes, I feel like, solar plexus energy, because your solar plexus energy is your vital life force energy. It's your confidence. It's yellow. Okay, and that also reminds me of Leo too, because Leo is the sun. Leo is yellow, but even though like Leo rules the heart and it rules the spine, but it's I feel like I've definitely just been very activated in terms of just like valuing myself more and wanting to be more myself unapologetically, regardless of how people respond and react to me. But honestly, there is this deep fear of abandonment, of rejection for me that I'm working through and acknowledging, and that I feel like is getting in the way of me fully embodying and stepping into this desire. Because like the other night when I was really sitting with it and I was feeling into that passion and that just like that fire in my chest, in my heart, to just say fuck it and to just be myself and to be authentic. And sometimes when I'm like, okay, well, who even is my authentic self? And I feel like this authentic version of me is just like, it's not even like how I look. It's more so just like being more honest about who I am. Like authenticity isn't this big grand thing that I have to do like this big coming out for. It's like it's not a and it's not that either, but it's just like it's more about just being honest with myself about how I feel, being more honest about who I am. And I also feel like like authentic for me too, like I'm afraid of people not thinking I'm nice, or I feel like I have to be nice for people to like me. And like sometimes I don't always want to be nice. Sometimes I'm like I'm a very nice, empathetic, kind-hearted person. Like I genuinely am. I give, I feel like, to my own detriment, and I give so much of myself away to people who I barely know or who really have not earned that or have proven that they are going to also reciprocate. And I feel like, especially after being ghosted this time and just feeling like taken advantage of, but also like not even in like in a victim way, but it's also like I didn't know this person and I I gave so much of myself. And and it just really had me thinking like I want to fucking stop doing that. I want to stop being so, I don't want to close my heart off, because I am somebody who values being heart led, but not giving so much of myself, like literally just not fucking giving so much of myself to people who I don't know, who I don't trust, and period, you know? And I feel like, and I also see how like that has, this happening has also kind of turned me a little mean. Like I just want to be a little mean, because I've been feeling irritated too. But sometimes like when I feel hurt, I want to be mean. That part of me just gets activated where I want to be mean and I want to push people away and I want to hurt other people. And I mean, validly so. But I just, I don't want to give so much of myself away to people. Like, not even out of fear anymore, just out of protection of myself and my inner child. Because I also realize that truly not everybody deserves me and to be my energy. My heart and my soul and my mind are truly amazing and a blessing in this world and are so sacred. And I want to surround myself with people who are connected with themselves or are putting in the work to connect with themselves and to stay connected with themselves in some way, in some capacity. And I feel like there's also comes a certain point in your journey where you can admittedly like exhale, like, and just kind of drop all of the acts and the performances and all the things that we feel like we need to do, especially when we know that we're on a healing journey and when we know that we are meant for better and we are doing our part in terms of cultivating that frequency internally and creating like safety and expanding our capacity to hold that. We we start to like these ideas and these beliefs that we hear from other people or that we feel like we have to abide by within the spiritual community or healing or manifestation. But a lot of it is just like, I don't have to constantly talk about healing all the time. And honestly, I don't want to because it's fucking exhausting. Like, because there's really not much to healing other than, I mean, there's a lot to healing, but like, I just don't want to fucking talk about it all the time. Like, and I don't have to. It's like something that I do like talking about, but it's fucking exhausting. Like, it's exhausting constantly seeking out validation. Like, oh, that's what I wanted to say as well, is that there's just a time and a point in your journey and in your life where you get fucking exhausted by chasing other people, by choosing other people who don't really want you, by constantly seeking validation and constantly putting on this like front so people can like you. There's a point where it's just like, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm glad I'm at that point. And, I say it and in my body, I feel like this nervousness, but also this just like burning passion for this fire that just doesn't want to be tamed anymore. And like in the moment, it feels really good. And I feel like this surge and this motivation to do that and take action on embodying it. But then sometimes I feel lost. I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. But I just, like, I'm figuring it out. We're just all figuring it out. But we don't have to figure out the world right now. Like, I don't. And I also feel like I just also love how I'm able to be more present in my journey and not so much. I feel like because I'm, if anything, practicing like de-shaming and processing shame and practicing more self-love and self-compassion towards myself, I feel like that's allowed me to be more present, or even if I'm feeling emotions that are uncomfortable or I'm doing things that I know I don't want to do or whatever, like I'm able to be more kinder and compassionate with myself, which I feel like has been a real breath of fresh air and has just been a huge weight off of my shoulders. Because like we need to talk about how being so harsh and like having such a harsh inner critic literally it feels like a huge just weight on your fucking shoulders all the time. Because I feel like you're constantly waiting or scanning for something to criticize yourself for, something to constantly doubt and just be hard on yourself for, which is not fun. And I feel like I'm able to just breathe more because I know that no matter what I do, that love is always going to be there, that love always exists, that I'm always going to be there. And and it really honestly makes me want to get emotional because it's so beautiful how I'm still able to love myself and to know that I'm still loved and cared for by the universe and my ancestors, regardless of what I do. And that's not to say that I'm going to start doing a bunch of willy-nilly ass shit, because that's not really how the healing journey works. It's like when you become aware of that, but you also know that you take action based on what feels right, not necessarily because, oh, like I can do whatever the fuck I want for the sake of doing it. I know that I'm going to be unconditionally loved. Like that's like the ego. And that's not wrong either, but it's just like you become aware of these things, and it's not just something that you learn to abuse. It's something that you cherish, and you take your time with. And I don't know, I feel like just like my perspective has best definitely like loosened up in terms of just like I have room to breathe. I'm allowed to breathe. I'm allowed to zoom out. I'm allowed to just be where I am in this moment and allow that to be enough, and know that I'm destined for more, and all of the steps that I'm taking, all of the things, all of the action that I'm taking is adding up. And I allow myself to trust that. Because I feel like when you're not trusting, and from my own experience, just like being a helicopter parent to myself and criticizing myself for not doing more, and I still do this, but I feel like like presenting myself with the option that I don't have to do that is just so like I feel like I can fucking breathe. I feel like I can just be and exist, and it doesn't have to be this big problem or like thing that I have to constantly analyze in my head. Like I can just fucking be and exist. And it doesn't have to be a debate. It doesn't have to be like this chaos, this internal chaos. And I feel like, and also allowing myself to feel the pain, allowing myself to feel the deep depression and sadness, and just even me having thoughts like suicidal ideations of just wanting to not be here anymore, just wanting relief from the pain, just wanting to be put out of my misery, just like admitting that to myself, and how like the lack of love and connection that I've just that just I feel deprived of, that I felt deprived of. Like it is not a crime to admit those things. It is not a character flaw that I feel those things. That is just the truth. And admitting that has opened up a door for me to be able to hold that part of myself. And even when I cry, I have to remind myself that I don't have to think. I don't have to figure out anything. I don't have to figure out shit. I don't have to analyze shit. I can just cry. I don't have to expect myself to perform and to come up with this lesson from what I'm feeling. Like I don't have to extract anything from myself. I just can be, and that is simply enough. And whatever I want to share from these moments, I will. Like they're not going anywhere, you know? Um, but I also have so many other things planned in terms of teaching and sharing my wisdom, and just being more authentic. Like I have so many ideas and so many plans, and just honestly, like figuring it out is just like it's its own process within itself. Like I know y'all heard that, sister, period. Um, and I also feel like when we hear authenticity, we have this like fixed idea of what authenticity is. But the thing is, like, authenticity is not something that you can just like. I mean, authenticity is like. I mean, I can look up the definition of authenticity now. The quality of being authentic. Wow, really? Genuine and of undisputed origin. Genuine. So, but like, so basically, it's like an unaltered state when we're talking about like people and their essence. and their soul, I guess. But I feel like with authenticity looks differently for everybody. Like, yes, there's a definition, but it is such a vast, because there's what, like almost 10 billion people in this world. Like, authenticity is different for everybody. But I feel like, especially in this day and age, and with like where aesthetics are people's personalities, and we try to fit in this aesthetic or this like trending buzzword, and we need to like do that and fall under that to go viral or to be liked or to be accepted. But like, authenticity really has no mold. It really has no mold, and I feel like we're trying to put authenticity in a mold, but that's just like inevitably not going to work. Because I feel like we authenticity police people too, in a lot of ways, because it's like, oh, we want people to be authentic, but not in this way. And I feel like I also question, like, what does authentic mean for me? Because sometimes I also view authenticity as a performance in order to be liked and to be accepted, because it's like, oh, well, authenticity is like the popular thing to be now. It's like, be authentic. And it's like, okay, well, authenticity is who you are at the core of your being. But like, I also feel like authenticity can turn into a performance when you're doing it for the sake of just being validated by other people, because it's like, oh, well, being authentic means that you know yourself. And so if I come across as this authentic person who knows myself, then people will want to be my friend or in association with me, because, well, this person knows herself. And, like, that just seems like the type of person that people would trust and want to be friends with. But like, authenticity is not necessarily like, it's more of an energy. Like, yes, authenticity is expressed in so many ways, but it's also in your energy. And I feel like you can look authentic for whatever that fucking means, but like, energy doesn't lie. And I feel like I'm really having to just like, I don't have to figure out what authenticity means and looks like and feels like for me all in one moment. Like, that's also one thing. It's like, when I ask myself these questions of like, oh, well, what's my purpose in life? I feel like, or I expect, and I put so much pressure on myself to figure out the answer in that moment, to have it all answered and figured out. And so like, I can start taking action on it or start doing whatever to do it as quickly as possible. But like, sometimes these answers unfold on their own. They unfold in their own timing. They unfold when we're ready. They unfold when we ask. And like, I feel like I've become more authentic a lot. But even like, when I think about, oh, what does authenticity mean for me? It's like, it's not this big performance that I envision. It's the parts of myself that I'm afraid of talking about, of expressing, out of fear of being judged by other people. Because sometimes, like I said, like, I feel, at least for me, like, I have this big picture of what authenticity looks like, or it's supposed to look like and mean for me. But sometimes it's not this big grand thing. It's more so just like sitting with myself and asking myself, in what ways do I cover and hide these parts of myself out of fear of being judged, of being rejected? Like, for me, I'm somebody who used to be a big fucking Taylor Swift fan. I used to be a big Swiftie. She was the first concert I've ever been to. I skipped my fifth grade graduation to see that girl. Okay? She was my girl. That, like, everybody that I knew in my life, my family, my friends, knew that that she was my girl. Okay? But also, there are people in my life, or that I've met, who have hated Taylor Swift or did not like Taylor Swift. And I've been made fun of for liking Taylor Swift. And I always felt like expressing that I liked her music wasn't safe, out of fear of being judged and rejected. And it's so crazy how, like, when we like artists and there are people who don't like the artists, or that there are people who like artists that we dislike, how we immediately want to shame and bash those people. But it's like, and it like, and having these experiences where the things that I like, my interests, are rejected, it's caused me to suppress this part of myself to share the pure and genuine and authentic excitement and love that I have for a form of art or a person. And then like a lot of times where like I felt embarrassed or I've held back from sharing that part of me that likes her music or that has been a Swiftie, for a lot of reasons, for being judged, for being rejected, for being like grouped into Swifties and all of these things. Cause like, obviously Taylor Swift is not somebody who like, she's fucking Taylor Swift. Okay. She has a big fandom. Okay. Like I've been a part of it. And like, I know how Swifties can get, like, I understand. Okay. But like, I've just been afraid of being perceived a certain way just because I've considered myself a Swiftie or somebody who's liked her music. Um, and I just haven't felt accepted because I liked her music. I felt like because I liked her music, it was harder for people to like me or accept me because they automatically put me in this box because I liked her music. And that's just one example, but obviously like that extends to so many other things in my life where I've been afraid to express certain parts of myself because of how people would perceive me. And I honestly, like, truthfully, I do have a very deep fear of being perceived in a negative way and being disliked and being rejected and being judged. And like my relationship and my dynamic with other people, like going back to the first house and the seventh house with Leo and Pluto for my chart, Leo and Pluto, Leo and Aquarius in my chart, and also the solar plexus, which is like your relationship with the world. Like, I feel like my relationship with the world, my relationship with other people has been rooted in fear because I constantly fear that people are judging me, that people constantly in their minds are just like watching everything that I'm doing and just criticizing my every move and my every thought and just like, and I also realize how like hyper aware of myself I am. I'm so hyper aware of the things that I say, how I say it, my body, how I'm sitting, and I always feel like somebody is in the corner judging me for how I'm sitting. But if anything, I'm just judging myself and I'm projecting it onto other people. And I've seen this video where this person was asking, how can you stop caring about how other people think about you? And in response, this video, oh my gosh, y'all, I need to slow down. In response, somebody made a video, and I can't quote everything that this person said. I mean, I saved the video and I can honestly pull it up and redo it. But they said that we don't really know how other people are thinking and feeling about us. We just assume and project our own assumptions onto other people, and we assume that they are judging us, but in reality, we are judging them because we think that they are judging us. And honestly, that video was something that I needed to see. I saw that video at the right place at the fucking right time, bitch. Okay, divine timing. Wait, how do you do it? I don't even know what that means. Honestly, it's kind of cute though. It's kind of kind. But and it's and I just like that's so fucking true because I don't know how people feel about me, but also I feel like just constantly assuming that people are always criticizing me in their head or whatever, like it makes me so hyper aware of myself and it makes me feel so unsafe and anxious in my own body because I feel like no matter what I do and just my existence is worthy of criticism and judgment, and that's just what I expect. That's what I assume. But I'm shifting into thinking more highly of myself, and also like if I'm going to project any thoughts, it's going to be positive. That people who are staring at me in public, they just think I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. I mean, shit, I'd stare too, babe. um but yeah, being so hyper aware of like your body and like yourself and constantly like analyzing other people and scanning if other people are like looking at you, and if they are looking at you and automatically thinking, oh, like they're judging me. Like, I've been doing that for a long time, and I realize how that has created so much tension and stress and anxiety for me. And honestly, I'm so relieved that I know how I can work with this, that I can nurture this part of myself. Um, because like I said, I've based a lot of my worth and my value in how other people have perceived me and their opinions of me, and if they chose me and if they stay or not, and all this good stuff, y'all. But I think I'm gonna actually wrap up the episode here. Um, and this is a longer episode today. I'm actually super excited, and honestly, I'm so glad that I did this episode. I was planning on recording this episode yesterday, which was Tuesday, and uploading it like on time today, but y'all, I had errands to do. I worked out, and then the rest of my day was filled with making my cake, and my cake turned out, it looks like the fucking Max and Ruby cake. Not really. It looks like it because Max was like a literal like child bunny and he made like a really messy cake. Listen, I'm still proud of myself. I still made my cake and I'm still gonna enjoy it. It's edible. But I overmixed the cake. And when I make stuff like that, I unfortunately always kind of overmix it, and so it's like a little gummy. But like I tasted some of the actual cake itself and it still tastes really good. Like I feel like the chocolate flavor, and then that was before it was had like frosting and stuff on it, and so I feel like hopefully that'll take away from the gumminess of the cake and the fact that it's not a fluffy cake. um but yeah, but I made a fucking cake for myself because that's what I wanted, and it's gonna be good. I'm gonna eat it. If anybody else doesn't like it, guess what? I have cake all to myself. Like there's nothing like a cake all to myself. Honestly, I it would have been cute if I brought up my cake and like sliced it on camera, but y'all will just see pictures. Y'all see pictures. If I even post it, because it's like, and I and I cut strawberries in half and I put them on like on the sides of the cake and they were sliding down. Okay, they were sliding down. They did not stay. The cake looks nothing like the recipe that I follow, like her outcome of the cake, but that's okay. Like this is my first attempt making it. Like, bitch, I'm not like a professional baker. Like I will get better. That's okay. But also, I think when I checked either again last night when I had my cake in the fridge for a little while, just because I wanted like the frosting, because it's a cream cheese frosting, so I wanted it to like harden up a little bit. The cake was fucking sliding. Okay, and I realize from doing this and having a fucking gummy cake that it's slippery, and so it was sliding, and it was hard to frost the cake too, and I was struggling, but it is what it is. Oh my god. I w- it's okay. Like, there's always next year. I can always make another cake for me. I mean, I'm not gonna wait till next year to make myself a cake. But yeah, shout out to my Leos this Leo season. I hope y'all are doing good. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you.